So this guy here, what you're looking at is this is a strategy that I taught my girlfriend, and when I tell you I taught my girlfriend, literally, guys, she traded 3 days. Yeah, 3 days. Friday was the third day in the markets. Never traded a day in her life until then, right? So Monday's going to make the fourth day. Well, as you can see, this is her. This is her account, right? And what you're looking at right here. So she's in step 2 now. She passed step 1 Friday, so this is going to be Monday. Tomorrow is going to be the beginning of step 2. But this is what she looks at every day, or what I told her to look at every day. Very simple. This is just a cumulative delta line. This is a zero line. Instead of candlesticks, all this is just a line, right? All it is just cumulative delta. Um, it allows her to see, are we above this zero line? Or are we below this zero line? Because it's going to give you an idea of where you should be favorable, right? In terms of shorts or longs, right? That's what she's looking at first, okay? Let's go over here to the ES because I told her to trade the ES. Stay the hell away from that crazy ass NQ right for right now. You know what I mean? That thing is whack for somebody new. So this is a good for her to trade the MES. But basically, in a nutshell, what she's looking for is in her brackets. This is her current brackets from Friday. Well, there again, these numbers, they're going to change from day to day based upon what levels I set and how many I set them due to that math that I was telling you about. So if we got just say we get a 100-point move and we got 5 levels, right? Divide that into every how many levels we have. So we're looking at a 20-point move. I'm just saying that as a rough guesstimate, right? Or an example. And so I'm going to change her brackets, or she's going to change her brackets every day based upon the proper risk reward, right? So if she's looking for 18 ticks, or is she looking for 25 ticks? It's just going to depend on how far away the levels are and how many levels they are set for that day. So that's where her brackets come in. And the CYA just means cover your ass. That's all that is. So right now, she's looking at a cumulative delta. This is the way she's going to approach this trade that we're looking at right now. Right? Just say we're her. We're below the zero line. She's looking for a short. That's all she's looking for. Not looking for longs until this red line gets above the zero line. Well, she wants to see price go below, come back into. That's her target to short. And then her bracket takes care of the rest. This is just a counter arrow. This is a dead simple reversal. The dead simple reversal is basically just confirmation this was the place to take profit. You follow me? It's not, hey, price is going to reverse up. This is a good place to take profit on your trade. And her brackets would have indicated that was the place to sell. So she would have entered short here, and she would have sold down into here. And then she just does that over and over and over and over. So we went from green, we went to red. She would have got short right here, and she would have took her profit somewhere in this area right here with a bracket. There was no trade to be had right here. She could have went short here and took some more profit, but what she's looking for is for price. She wants to make sure that the cumulative delta line is below zero, headed down. We went from a green to red, pulled back into it, and then her bracket takes care of the rest. It's just that way over and over and over and over. So on longs, for instance, right here, we went from a red. Yeah, we're positive, right? Okay. The red line's above the zero line. We wait for price to break above, and then she takes her entry off of this little cloud, right? And their bracket takes care of the rest. You know, it's just over and over and over and over and over. That's the way she does it. Very simple, very simple. There's no discrepancy. It's just a straightforward, simple strategy that, there's nothing too complicated about it. You're not out here trying to be a rock star or anything, but yet you're still making money with very little risk. You know what I mean? Anybody got any questions on that deal?
What's the green and red line you said again?
This is the Wonder Cloud, right? Let me look. Right here. Moving average Wonder Cloud.
Gotcha.
There's the settings on it. Fast lengths 24, slow lengths 34, exponential moving average.
Nice. Yeah, I've looked at some of them different clouds on there, and I really haven't cared for them. That one looks a little bit different, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just something simple for her that she can use that, you know, for somebody that's not been in the market for a long time, that's not looking at exact levels, this allows her to utilize the cloud. And honestly, the cloud has lined up pretty well with my levels. You know what I mean? But it's all derived on this, right? She understands, you know, are we making, so for instance right here, are we making a lower low? Or did we just make a higher low? Like for instance, we say we went up here and busted above this cloud, she would look right here and she would look right here. And then she would also pay attention to this. Are we diverging or are we not diverging? You know what I mean? And just something super simple that doesn't require a ton of knowledge, a ton of effort. It's very simple. You know what I mean? You look for that red to green move, and then it pulls back into the cloud. Her bracket takes care of the rest. You know what I mean? She has a buy spot. She's either right or she's wrong. And then obviously she was right, you know, because her bracket took care of the rest. I mean, she wasn't looking to make all this money. I mean, her bracket doesn't even allow for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Her bracket's just very simple set. You know, it keeps her out of trouble, but yet keeps her in the game enough where she can be wrong a lot. You know what I mean? But yet still at the end of the day, if she's willing to take all these trades, she's going to make money at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And she made $1,000 in 3 days. You know what I mean?
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So
She's
super
new to
simple.
it,
You know what I
right?
mean? Super simple. Super duper simple.
She's
And you
new to
just
it
keep
as
her on the
well.
right side of the market. Do I now?
She's pretty new to it as well.
It's her literally third day trade. Like never
That's crazy.
traded anything in her entire life. Period.
That's awesome.
You
Well,
know what I mean?
tell her big props on that $1,000 because that's amazing start.
Yeah, you know it. She yeah, one day little excited on the over trading part, but since it's just
They'll
very
get you
simple.
on commissions one day.
Yeah, well, you know, you get yourself in trouble. You know what I mean? If you're trying to hit every one of these, you know, you get yourself in trouble. You just look for that one good move for her, and that's it, right? A red to green move, or for in this case, obviously the red line was below the zero line. That's an indication it's short's your best place to be, and you just look for that move, right? And you look for it to pull back into the cloud, and your bracket takes care of the rest. You know, she might get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades a day, but you know what? 4 or 5 trades a day, man. I mean, obviously $1,000 in um, you know, 3 days. That's pretty sporty. You know,
Especially
especially
for
trading the
first
MES.
especially for her first couple days, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You better watch out, she's coming for you, Magnum.
I know, man.
She'll be making the big bucks soon.
I'm gonna be smoking Russian cream cigars and drinking whiskey if that's the case. I mean, good
Yeah,
shape,
buddy. As long
living
as
a
she
good
looks
life.
out, right?
That's it. And there again, guys. I mean, you know, as far as her brackets go, like I said, her brackets are going to change daily based upon what levels I set, and then I do the math to where I know she's not taking, you know, she's not really stretching the envelope, right, for like 25 ticks or 30 ticks. You know what I mean? She's being conservative. Um, you know, she could get out right here and be just fine. You know what I'm saying? Where she could have got out down here, you know, and made a little bit more. But you know what? I've had my ass kicked a bunch from trying to do that. You know what I mean? But um, it's super simple. You know, I mean, it's one of them things where I'm sure that, you know, my 9-year-old son couldn't take this strategy and make ice cream money for the whole damn, fifth grade class. You
That's
know what I'm
right.
saying? Um, but yeah, I mean, everybody was kind of asking, what the hell was she doing to do, as well as she was doing in a short amount of time? But that's it. Super simple, man. Super simple stuff, and there's nothing
Women
special.
women learn faster though too.
Yeah, and these are the only things that I have. Um, the cumulative delta line. There's nothing special about it. It's just whatever he had set. Um, it's just normal setting. The only thing that was messed with was this cloud. Um, and those are the settings for it. Fast links 24, slow links 34, exponential moving average.
You know what
And
you
then
should check out for, bud?
what's that?
LBR. It's another downloadable oscillator. I use it some and it's absolutely amazing. It's the LBR 310 oscillator. It gives such clean signals. Like it would add to that system immensely.
What is it? Yeah,
LBR 310, like THREE.
right here.
Yep.
LBR 310 oscillator.
Yep. And it'll pop up in the oscillators, and that's amazing on a really fast chart, like a minute chart. It gives really clear signals,
That
and I
sounds dope.
think like it would just accent that system a lot. See how like the line cuts out of it. The fast line that cuts out of it. It tells you the trend's weakening, um, and it also tells you how strong your trend is in either direction. I used to use a cumulative delta, but that thing is just so much better. And
Hmm.
it works real well in a live market. Like it's telling you like we're trending back down towards that naked point of control, but it tells you the trend is very weak. And whenever you got an aggressive trend and the price comes out of it, it also gives you like the divergence, the strength of the trend. It tells you when like areas are starting to get into a pullback area.
Yeah,
Um, so
that's
yeah,
interesting.
just worth checking out to her, because I think like that would accent what she's got going on the top a ton.
Yeah, I was sitting here going over her trades, looking at this thing versus what she was doing. So what you're saying is, so when are you saying that this thing is saying take a trade or to just confirm? Is that what you're
So
saying?
on the red trend, like if you line your cursor up with where that white line came out of it,
Right here.
on the other side, the left side, right there, that tells me the downtrend is weakening. And then when it pushes green, um, and that when the actual histogram pushes green and that white line cuts above zero, so back straight up from there, you break your histogram turns green. That's bullish back on the other side.
Yeah,
That
right
tells
here.
me you're starting a bullish trend. And once the white line comes up above zero, the faster line that confirms the trend.
Gotcha. Okay, I see what you're saying.
So that would be the entry where it goes from red to green. And
Hmm.
then once that goes in there, that gives you confluence that there's strength in the trend.
Yeah. Okay.
And then for to you don't look to exit the trend until that white line goes back below zero. So way over there.
Wow.
Yep, that
Oh
keeps you.
shit.
So that's what once it goes back below zero, that's telling you that the trend is dying. When it cuts out of the green, it tells you the trend is weak. When it cuts below zero, it tells you the trend is reversing. It has a lot. It gives a lot of good, clean signals, and like I think that might help her stay in her trades a little longer if she's interested. Uh oh, we killed it. She's gonna be mad now. Anybody still there? Hello? Uh, did I lose you?
Yeah, he fell out.
Oh, he did. Okay. Maybe he ran off to tell her about it. Like, check this out, babe. But no, that guys, that LBR 310 oscillator it's really clean. And the way it draws that big green histogram, it gives you a solid area to just look at and kind of stay in. And then you're just looking for the fast moving average to cross back below zero.
Hot tub turn Oh.
So
Check this out. So like, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go show her this, and I'll come back. There you go, man.
Hey guys, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, buddy.
I don't know what the hell happened, man. I guess I needed to charge my damn laptop. It died. Just cut off.
Sure. You don't want to do that while trading.
Yeah. No kidding, man. No kidding. I actually took it in here so I could get away from the TV and all that. But anyhow. Well, man, that is a pretty sporty little indicator right there.
Yeah, check it out. It works with the camo moving average.
Yeah, I'm gonna play with that to see how well that works with her, and how well she can adapt to something like that. When you're starting out like that,
Yep.
it's really one of them things where you got to really keep it super simple. Otherwise, you're gonna gain too much confidence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and too much conviction in a trade, and you're going to take a loss, right? Just say, for instance, you're going to take a loss, and then, it's going to touch here, and you're going to take another loss, and you're going to take another loss, and another loss. And next thing you know, you're not even trading your strategy anymore because you just got too much conviction that it was supposed to go up. You know what I mean?
Well, and the thing is like, I don't use that mainly as my entries, or more so just sometimes when I'm questioning, like, am I going to go to my profit goal? And I'm looking at it, and it's like, yeah, it's kind of slowing, but like, there's no sign I should get out yet. You know what I mean? And it allows me to stay in a little longer. Just maybe worth checking out,
Yeah, absolutely, man. I really, and if you look at it, I mean, it lines up fairly well with the Wonder Cloud. You know what I mean? If you kind of just look at where it's given its signals, I mean, it really lines up fairly well with it.
Well, and it also telling you, like, in that green bush, like any spot where it pulls back and you get those little red dips, but the no, to your left more in the green area. So those little red dips, that tells you that those are good backs to look for an entry. If you miss the first push, you know what I mean? So that's not, it's not showing any bearishness. It's just kind of showing it's doing a little bit of a pullback.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It helps get in sometimes with better entries, stuff like that.
Yeah. Hey man, I think you're right on the head, like right here. If you can figure out how someone that is super new, right, to the market, this is just kind of, almost more like a coach, right? It's coaching them along. Hey, you're doing the right thing. You're in the right side of the position. You're right side of the market. Basically just confirmation, right? I mean, that's what you're looking for. Just kind of confirmation. Hey, you're doing the right thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I like it.
Test it out someday. That you met your or something. Just check it out, or have her check it out, practice account, and see what she thinks of it.
Oh yeah,
I think she'll fall in love with it. I think you will too. Like, that volume profile are like the two things I use. Like, cumulative delta, to me, it started giving me mixed signals because it is only the weaker retail traders that are market buying. You know what I mean? Where
Yep.
The only time I use cumulative delta is when price is going down and cumulative delta is going up. It usually tells me that there's bigger players coming into the market. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That are pushing us in the opposite direction.
Absolutely. And, realistically, I personally don't use cumulative delta. But, for her, I only wanted her to trade in the times where there was the most amount of market strength. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
having something that was black or white, right? So the cumulative delta line above zero, you're looking for bullish moves, right? Yeah, you're going to get this. But you know what? You're going to stay out of trouble because you're not going to have to get there. She would have took a loss right here if she got involved, but because she would have bought that right there. You know what I'm saying? But her bracket allows her to not stay into trouble. But it would have turned back red. She would have had another opportunity right here. She would have got in there and she would have, with those kinds of brackets. So 2-1 at least. So she lost right here, right?
Yep.
She would have lost. Yeah, what is this? $12. She would have made $25 right here. So she would have lost one trade, made double on this trade, and still been money ahead, right? 12.50. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of risk reward. She could have stayed in it and held a lot longer, but that's really not what she needs to be doing at the moment. She just needs to worry about executing trades, making sure she's getting in, getting out, okay with taking a loss, not backing stops up, this, that, and the other, And, there again, that's what I was doing with this cumulative delta line was, hey, this is black or white. You're either bullish or you're bearish. You know what I mean? And that's the only really two things that I had kind of given her in terms of, information was, you're looking for short trades only right here, and you're not just looking to short off of this red line. You're looking for price to go above, or this cloud to turn green, and then price break below the cloud, and then come back into it, and then that would have been your short back down. As long as all that made sense. But super simple, you know what I mean? Just super simple. And
Probably
probably make
simple, stupid, right?
Yeah, she probably make more damn money than I will doing this. Doing it this simple. Pretty honestly.
I think that sometimes that's what I catch myself doing is overcomplicating the market sometimes.
Yeah, I think we're all guilty of that. We always want to make more, get more. That type of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's it, man. It's just super simple stuff, and I'm gonna work with this 310 oscillator. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I've been using it.
Sporty, though.
Been using it for a couple months now. It's definitely like sometimes the other day when I had that, it was like at 220 points and I had fulfilled that naked point of control, but I seen that I was still pushing bullish on there, so I held it for that extra 30 points. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
39 points or whatever, because it wasn't telling, it was not telling me that it was going to roll over yet.
Yep. Makes total sense. Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, let's see here. How many folks we got in here?
Magnum, can you show? Magnum, can you show the settings for the Wonder Cloud?
Yeah.
Which settings you use?
Here you go. Wonder Cloud, right there. You got 24 for a fast length, 34 for the slow length, and this is an exponential moving average.
Okay. But you don't use it, Magnum?
No, I don't. I mean, I trade differently. I 100% trade off of levels, but this is for my girlfriend, so
Yeah, okay.
But it's a very profitable strategy. It's just a fact of something super simple, that's not going to require super depth of the market to utilize. Right? It's just black or white, simple. You're either right or you're wrong, and mathematically you'll be right more than you are wrong, and you're going to end up making money. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And which settings do you use for the delta?
It's just whatever come on it. I didn't change anything. Can you see? Can you see the?
Yeah, I see. That's the same. Yeah.
Okay. Only thing I did, I think I made the red line a little bit bigger. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there again, there's the Caner arrows, which she doesn't use them, but I just kind of put them there for confirmation. You know what I'm saying? If she missed the trade or whatever, typically the Caner will show up, right? There was the Caner, but she would have took the trade back. You know what I mean? And then on the dead simple reversal, all that is just indication for her. Hey, yeah, this is where I should have got out of the market at, right? Where you should be taking profit. Not that this is the place that it reverses. It's just that's a good place to take profit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't change anything. I mean, all this stuff is just the way it was, by the people who designed it.
Yeah. Because if you change something, it changes all the other settings.
That is correct. Yeah. And yeah, and I had to adjust this Wonder Cloud just for the fact that she's trading off of a 1 minute chart. So that Wonder Cloud, initially it didn't work so well off of a 1 minute chart. You know what I mean? It wasn't quite as reactive, but maybe it's a little bit too reactive. I needed to kind of slow it down a little bit to where it just kind of it was smooth, right? I mean, it was like almost looking at like a 15 to a 30-minute chart and trading off of a 1 minute to execute. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what you're looking at. Once smoothed it out a little bit for. And there again, the biggest thing about this strategy that you're not looking at, that you don't see, is these brackets right here, and they change daily, and that's based fully upon how many levels I have personally set for that day. Right? Take the high price and the low price, subtract them, find that number, and then divide that by how many levels I have set. That's going to give you your profit target, right? That what you're looking for per trade that you take. All right. And then you set your risk based upon that profit target so that you at least have 2 to 1. And like, for instance, she doesn't trade this. She doesn't trade the MNQ, but you know what I mean? You're going to have different brackets. You know what I mean? Just based upon different markets. You know what I mean? So if you guys follow my work on the daily or whatever with these levels that I have set, you're going to see what the high and low price was, and you guys just do a little bit of math, count the levels, divide the levels by that number, and that you set your brackets up or whatever based upon that. That way, you're always going to stay on the right side in terms of risk.
You don't use the ETR.
No,
the average true range for the brackets or for the take profit. Or
no. I think that thing is honestly. I've never had any luck off of it, man. I don't know if it was because of the way that I trade or what, but it just never worked out for me. It was always wrong, just really wrong for me.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks.
Does anybody got any?
Thanks for sharing, Magnum.
Hey, no problem, man. No problem. Does anybody got any more questions about this or anything that need to be answered or asked or? Sounds like we're all good. All right, guys. Well, if that's it, we're gonna wrap this thing up, man. I'm gonna hop off here, and I'm going to get ready for another day of work tomorrow, and another day of trading.
Buddy. Thanks, Magnum.
Thanks, bud.
Hey, no problem, guys, man. Y'all have a good one.
Thanks, man.